Hello, work-life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to come past and talk a little bit about stress management or just stress in general. We all have stress. Many of us don't necessarily know what stress is, what our body feels like when we're experiencing stress with our physical, emotional, spiritual cells feel like when we're under a lot of stress and pressure. We don't understand if what we're doing is actually relieving our pressure, our stress. We just know that it is, at least in the moment, distracting us from whatever our pain points are. So again, stress it really boils down to what you perceive stress is. Stress is unique to everyone, and we all have our versions of stressors. What may be stressful for you may not be stressful for me, or what is really stressful for me may be only a little stressful for you. And so stress is unique to the individual, and therefore stress management must be unique as well. So the idea is for you to understand when your body is experiencing stress symptoms, or when you're mentally and emotionally and spiritually experiencing stress symptoms. Like for me, a stress symptom of mine is I may get a tension headache, or I may get some knots in my stomach, or my palms may begin to sweat, or my brain becomes a little foggy and I don't have the clarity that I need. Or I find myself coming out of the present moment. And that's how I know when I'm stressed, because I'm thinking about the future or the past. And so I notice how my body responds to stress. My jaws get really tight. Sometimes my shoulders get really tight. And so I learned to recognize my stress symptoms. So when I'm going through that, I can combat them. And I use a whole bunch of stress management techniques, but I use the ones that are more applicable to the moment or the place and the environment that I'm in, so that I can, release my stress without it being held in my body or blocking my emotions or, making my brain foggy. So a lot of times we don't even realize how stress is trickling throughout our lives. We may have a bad day at work, and then we get in the car, and then we're driving aggressively, and we're cussing people out, and we're bonking our horns, and we're running red lights, and we're not driving safely, and we're numbing out. Some of us are on our phones, and we're just chattering away, talking about the events of the day. Some of us are on autopilot, and we're just driving, and we're not in the present moment. And then a lot of us don't de-stress before we hit the house with our friends and our family and whatever it is that we're doing after work. And so we take a lot of the stress and tension into our personal lives, or at the start of the day, the personal stress rolled into your professional life. And so you come home and all of a sudden you're easily irritable and you're frustrated and you're yelling at your kids, and you just want to vegetate behind the TV, and you want to eat all types of food that doesn't help, and you want to drink, and you want to go shopping, and you want to go on social media and stay there for hours. And you don't even know if these things are actually helping you. You don't know if they're releasing the cortisol in your body. You don't know if they're helping to renew you or reset you. You just know that they're distracting you from the very problems that you have, which is understandable. No one wants to feel overwhelmed with stress. But the best thing you can do for your life is to understand your stress intimately, to start taking notes and logging when you're stressful, at what times of the day, what you do to release your stress. You can try all the stress management techniques and see how your body responds to them. You can add fun and play to all of the techniques, like exercise. You can make exercise fun and playful. You can form a dodgeball team. You can go outside and play double dutch. You can hula hoop. You can take a class. You can go swimming. There's so many ways to make, you can add your favorite music to make exercise fun. If you want to do some breathing techniques, you can make that fun. You can do some laughter. You can watch some comedy. You could paint. You could play. There's so many things that you can do, and you know that it's working because instantly you're in the moment. You're not thinking about your problems, and you don't feel like you're distracting yourself. You feel like you're in flow, or you're in the moment. And we all know what it feels like to distract yourself when you're kind of watching TV or you're shopping, but your thoughts are still going on and on and on and on and on, as opposed to when you're in flow and you're enjoying what you're doing because you're actually decreasing your stress, you feel like relaxed. You feel like you're in flow. You feel in the present moment. There's no need to be stuck in your head or thinking about the future or the past. And so all of your stress management techniques, tools, tips, tricks that you use should pull you into the present moment, should help you to relax, to help you feel like you're in flow. And that is the way you know that you are, releasing cortisol from your body and giving your body what it needs to fight back and to relax and to rejuvenate. And it's very important that you do that, because if you don't, if you only pick low impact stress management tools like TV, shopping, socializing, social media, eating unhealthy foods, drinking. If you pick these low level, activities, many of them have long-term consequences. And in the moment, in the short term, they're not even really effective in combating stress in the level that you need, because tomorrow begins another day. And so we need to be responsible in how we manage ourselves throughout the day, and how we implement stress management techniques throughout the day, and how we manage our stress and how stress situations, and how we take advantage of quiet time, or of time when things aren't going crazy in the moment, when things aren't busy in the moment, how we take advantage of that time. Do we hop on Facebook and start scrolling, or Twitter or Instagram or TikTok? Or do we take some deep breaths? Do we go outside? Do we get some vitamin C? Do we go and talk to, people who make us feel better? Do we laugh? Do we do the things that we really need to do to practice wellness, to combat stress, to make sure that our well-being is our first priority, so that we can be the best for our employers, for our family, for our friends, for our endeavors, for our dreams, for all the things that make life worth living? You have to, release anything that stands in the way of having the quality of life to produce the goals or any experience that you want to have while living. So it's not a matter of, stressful things happening to you, which of course we know they do. They happen all the time. But how do you handle these stressful moments? How do you use them as fuel to help you grow? Because you can take these negative moments and you can transmute them into something that's powerful for you. You can use them as fuel to renew you, to rejuvenate you, instead of just pulling you down and making you feel negative and weak and disappointed and uninspired and demotivated. There's a way to take these things and make them into fuel, so that at the end of the day, you're not burnt out, so that you can go home and be active in your family life. You can go home and pursue your dreams. You can go out and have that social life. You can do all of the things that you need to do throughout the day to, add something of value into the world for your employer, but also add something of value in the world for the people that you love. If you can renew yourself throughout the day, and that your afternoons after work or your weekends are not spent trying to, de-stress at the expense of all of the things that you absolutely love and cannot live without. So again, it's our responsibility to track what stress means for you, like what stresses you out. What are the stressors in your life? And then you need to track, how does it affect you mentally? Now, a lot of times for stress, as far as the mental category, it brings brain fogginess. Do you experience that? Do you have clarity? Can you think about things without all of this mental clutter in your brain? Physically, there's over 100 stress symptoms. Some people grind their teeth at night. Some people have stress headaches. Some people have nosebleeds. At one point, I had anxiety and panic attacks. Some people have muscle spasms. Some people have gut problems. Some people have throat problems. There's so many different ways that stress affects your body. Are you paying attention? If you are in the future, stuck in the future, or stuck in the past, it's no way that you can diagnose what your body is going through right now. It's hard to tie the symptoms that you're experiencing, if you even feel them, to stress if you're not in the present moment. Most of the time, you won't even feel it. In the present moment is the only way that you can notice, I noticed that when this stressor happens, my knee gets a little tight, or my throat gets, a little hoarse. I noticed that when my deadlines are approaching, I get a really bad headache. And you start to jot these things down so you know what your stress symptoms are and you know how to combat them. So then when you're starting to feel stressed, you can do something about it immediately. You can stop what you're doing. You can go for a walk. You can go for a jog. You can stretch. You can go and talk to someone. You can eat something that's healthy for you. You can go get some vitamin A, D, some fresh air. You can do some yoga. You can meditate. You can draw. You can do anything that can help bring you back into the present moment, to help renew you so that you're prepared to be your best self, to give the best of yourself. So stress management is so important. Stress is so important. It's not bad on its own. It's something that can be used to fuel your life. It is something that if you don't have any stress, you become weak. Now, too much stress at one given time can kill you, but not enough stress is not good for you. So stress in general is a part of life, and it can be used to propel your life to unimaginable heights, as long as you're willing to do the work to understand your body, your experience, how it affects you, what works as far as managing your stress, and how you can renew to be your best self. Don't you want to give this world, the people you love, the best of you? Don't you want to see the best of you? Don't you want to shock you and be impressed? The best way to do that is to start by managing your stress. It is so important to do that. It is a priority to manage your stress throughout the day. From the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep, it is your responsibility to turn the stressors of your life into fuel. So tell me, what are the stresses in your life? How do they affect you? How does stress affect your physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional health? How do you track stress? How do you manage it? How do you add fun and play to your life to combat stress and to reduce cortisol in your body? And tell me, what do you do on a normal basis as far as stress management? Is it something that you think about? Is it something you partake in? Is it something you don't think about? Tell me the difference between what you think actually reduces stress and what is a distraction. Do you believe shopping is a distraction? TV, drinking? Please share with me your thoughts on stress and stress management. So I hope that helps, work-life warriors. Have a great day.